Hello everyone, hope you can hear me. I'm going to go ahead and get this started since it's so late already. I've had some technical difficulties today. So just so you know, I had a power outage, and then after the power came back on, my internet just kind of crapped out. I have like a wireless mobile internet set up, and whenever there's thick clouds, it interferes with the upload speed, and it just wasn't good enough to do a live. So welcome. I'm surprised to see a couple new people in here. Welcome, welcome. If you can't hear me or anything like that, let me know in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and start. I haven't had a lot of time to prepare for this. I've been so busy lately. But I am working out my power issues because, like I said, I live off the grid and I'm completely on solar. And the solar battery can only do so much. And I've got some backups, but my generator is pretty much shot, and we need to figure out something for that. So I'm looking into some other options. But anyway, here's Bitcoin. And as you might have noticed in the Bitcoin updates, I put in there that this candle looked really bullish because it did. Like when I saw this right on this key level, I was like, well, yeah, this is going to close soon. But obviously there's some stuff going on, some news events or whatever. Was showing it here. Anyway, I did take a look at this and found a range. Another key level appeared too, but there's a volume range here, and it seems to be in the range, although it's deviated outside of the range in these spots. But it keeps coming back to it. So because of the higher time frame, like I said on the other previous sessions, the higher time frame still has this bullish divergence, this hidden bullish divergence here, and it has not invalidated. Let's put it here. You got it on the money flow and on the RSI. Because this is the low, you pull your line from there, and if you check the RSI, it's even lower here, while the price has a higher low. So there's a hidden bullish divergence here, and unless this low gets broken, it's going to remain valid. Now, if this low got broken, that would change the market structure, and that would change everything. So this here, if this holds and price doesn't close candles below this purple line, the likelihood of it going up a little higher is possible. But I did notice some other stuff that I want to share. Another bullish divergence on a lower time frame has appeared and confirmed. I was expecting Bitcoin to come up to 108K, but it hasn't done that. Instead, it's kind of ping-ponging around in here in this range. But on the 4-hour, there was some interesting stuff. Well, even on a low time frame, see, TDIX won't always show the divergence right away, but there's a number of like bullish divergences. Here's another one. Now, this doesn't mean the price is going to go up, but there's a possibility for it if this level gets broken again, if price can get above it and hold. But this other level here, which is hard to see, I'll put it on a 12-hour so it's easier for me to zoom in, because I'm not on my big monitor. I'm in a library right now. See how there's wicks here at this other purple line here? There's wicks all through here and here, so it's a flip zone, and that's the one where that candle rejected, because right after it had this bullish candle, when I saw this and I put it in the Bitcoin updates, it closed this dragonfly candle this dragonfly doji candle right above that level. I mean, that was nice looking right there, but it didn't hold, so it came back down and it got stuck between these two key levels, and then it lost this one. So look, it wicked here, but it's making another run. So getting above this is one thing, but it really needs to get above 90K to go bullish. But if it does, because of that higher time frame daily bull div, which is also on a 3-day, there's a major bull div there, and on the this higher time frame, it's still in bullish sentiment because this fast MA is above here. So there's still a good possibility that it can make it up to 108K, and I'm standing to that because you still have this bull div, So we'll see what happens with the news events, what's going on. But these two levels that I had marked on here are key. They're really key. So if Bitcoin gets above this level, the next one it needs to break 90K, because that's where it's really struggling when it gets in between here. So watch for that. If that happens, there's going to be some resistance up here. There's a bearish order block right here at 95, 1 to 2. So right around here, this opposite color candle, this green candle, this is going to be a strong bearish order block right here. If it gets above this, it may make it higher, but you'll probably see a reaction to this, and I wouldn't panic if you get into some longs or something. But so that's Bitcoin. As for anyone that joins and missed the beginning, I will record this. I'm recording it now. Let me check on this secondary portable monitor I've got. It is recording. Good. So I'll put this on my YouTube channel afterwards. It's not going to be as long as the normal streams because I had to reserve a special room from the library to do this today. Sorry I missed last week's stream, but it was, life has been happening lately. There's so much to say with it, I almost don't want to open that can of worms, but I'm going to skip and switch over to EAX really quick so my screen will disappear for a moment. And one moment here, and I'm doing that because on the Discord or on the EA stage, it doesn't always automatically switch. It records per app rather than per monitor, so that's why I had to cancel it. But when I look up a few things, and there were some questions I had that I want to jump on first thing, as a matter of fact. But I'm going to just take a quick look at this. This hype's see if you guys short stuff. That'd be worth watching. Hype. It's at 84 on the RSI. Yeah, so I'm going to add a few of these to my list. I don't know if I'm going to get to them, but I'm going to pull this off screen now and go back to Trading View. But I wanted you to see what I'm looking at. And if you guys don't know how to use EAX, there are some video instructions we have on it. Excuse my voice. I've had one hell of a day. And I had like a late breakfast and stuff, so I just kind of scarfed down some fast food before I started this. But I usually check the pumpers and dumpers. That's me. But I've been learning a lot of what Mowgli has been doing with EAX and how he finds his trades, and it's excellent. But it's not my trading style, at least not yet. I'd like to kind of try it some, but my trading style is a little different, so I sometimes wait for entries and things like that a little longer. But I am going to switch back to Trading View now. And so now I have my EAX on another screen. And I'm going to answer, before I start, I'm going to answer a couple questions. and just knock them out. Okay, so let me look at my Discord really quick. Hopefully it doesn't interrupt anything. Okay, crypto candle. Okay. Okay. Crypto candle. I think it was you asked about high time frame, like hour 4 shark fins. Thanks for joining, by the way. I just noticed you're here. So, yeah, if you're interested in trading a higher time frame shark fin, that's a really good thing because you get such big moves off of them. But the problem I find with them is they often take a long time to close. And that's like, I'm just looking at this as an example, but when you consider every gosh, let me use a different example. I was looking at something else here. Let's just go to this one. See, this is so hairy now that I'm not at home and I don't have all my computer desk and my multiple monitors and I'm in a library. It's so weird. So a lot of the time when you have a shark fin on, you know, a higher time frame, it's going to take a long time for that shark fin. So you might get an alert to say that, yeah, there's a 4-hour shark fin here, but like once it starts forming, your alerts you, but then you got like all these candles and each one of them's 4 hours. So I used to kind of set my alerts for shark fins, but I stopped doing that. And I'll show you why. Now you can sometimes catch a nice sharp shark fin, maybe not this one, but catch one that's just like a quickie shark fin. You can get like something like this, a jagged shark fin, and you get a nice dragonfly doji or like some sort of pin bar or engulfing candle or something in order to kind of help confirm that. And what it'll look like on a lower time frame is a V in some cases. This one would be a better example. So if I drew a line here when this shark fin started, and then I went to the 15-minute. See if I can find it on this on my laptop. So it's kind of came out with a V here. Say like when you go down to the 15, and that's what you want to see if you're going to enter on the higher time frame shark fin. But you wait for the shark fin to close to confirm it, because you know a shark fin can drag on. And like if you've seen my style of trading, I don't enter on shark fins myself. Like I don't enter on the shark fin. I wait for a crossover, and sometimes a confirmed crossover of this here, this FASTA crossing this, because that's when the action like really happens. So you could use your shark fin to say, I'm looking for an entry now, and that's what I do. I mean, you can do it the other way too and just enter on a shark fin, but you're going to be waiting in trade for a long time on these high time frame shark fins. But like I can just set my alerts for these crossovers, and it happens right then. And it's there's say like right here, a lot less time to wait for this move to go up. But what you do, it's kind of seems backwards, but it makes a lot of sense when you think about it, is if you set your alert for this crossover, you want to look and say, okay, well, here's the crossover, but was there a shark fin before it? And if you look at it and there was a shark fin before the crossover, chances are you're going to have a really good move. But, you know, because you'll have crossovers like this, and you don't want that. So like if you had a shark fin and then a crossover, like this one was a trick, but it still didn't really go, well, here you would have went down a little bit. But a lot of times you'll have this chop, and you don't want to enter on that. So you can weed out a lot of bad entries or waiting too long in a trade if you set your alerts for these crossovers. And then just say, okay, my alert went off. The FASTA may cross the money flow middle band. And then I just look at this on TDIX and I say there was a shark fin. That shark fin closed. And this is why I do this too. Another reason, I've said this in a few of my videos, because even though this shark fin confirmed here, the price kept going down. If you would have entered there, like right here, it went against you like 3%. You know, on your high leverage, that's going to be kind of screwy. So I wait for this crossover, and then if I check it and there's a shark fin that happened before it, same with the, you know, the bearish ones. But you often get another tap on. Here's a good example. So you had a bearish shark fin here, then you had your crossover, but then this is what you really want to see, is when this fast MA tries to get back above, but it can't, and it goes back down, because when it's below this money flow, it's in bearish sentiment. So when you see it dump, I mean, some people just hit this and enter this short at a key level, which is great, and that's how you can make a lot of money. But I trade a different way. So I wait for this. I will even wait for here. And I heard a beep on Discord. I just thought you guys might have said something, but apparently no. So I wait for this to go under, and then usually comes up, and like the fast MA retests that money flow. And you know, these can be slow trades, but it's pretty laid back and pretty easy and pretty solid. And you could be in the short right around here when it rejects, and you could have held it. And then when you see something like this, and then it tries to get above it again but can't, it's like a confirmation to keep holding it. And so that, I hope that answers your question. But if you see a shark fin, I can find another example, and you don't get your V, you don't get a nice V shape, you don't want that. And sometimes you'll get a V shape and it'll go back down anyway, like here is, well, it's on a 15-minute, but you're talking about high time frame. So let's look at the high time frame again. So your shark fin, a good shark fin on the 4-hour or above, is going to look like a V shape on the lower time frames, like the 15-minute or lower. But if it doesn't look like a V, or I guess an upside down V if you're looking for a short, if it doesn't, you know, chances are it's going to go sideways and push into a divergence. So that's this coin here is even a really good example. So let's look at something that's got some history. I'll be trading against the trend there, but that would have been a nice drop. Let's just look for something that's bullish. When you're trading longs and shorts, the price is going to act totally different. And it does seem like, yeah, wait for a retest. But like, here's another example. Even though it didn't really fully play out the big move here. So you had a shark fin, but look at that. You would have got smoked. Like if you would have entered on this, why's my, anyway, my taskbar, I want it to disappear if it would go away. Let me fix this really quick. It's annoying the shit out of me. Oops. It's not going away. Anyway. So if you would have entered on this shark fin here, it was dull. So that was your first warning sign. You know, heck, even if you would have entered on one of these ones, like that one was a dud. This one here, you just wasted a bunch of time, and then it went like against you. But if you waited toward or for the crossover, you're more likely to have something. But even then, you're going to have crossovers that don't always work. But when that starts to happen, typically it's just pushing into a divergence. You know, if the RSI is coming up but price is coming down, you've got a divergence. You know, you're not always going to get alignment with that. So watch out for that. And in this case, here's your divergence, and then it went up here. And even this, I think this is where the divergence really played out, because sometimes divergences have a late, like delayed time before they play out. I see this often. Many times there'll be like an MA there, and then as soon as it pops above the MA, then it really blasts off. Like this one's not an MA, but I like this one. Here it didn't blast off, which I'm surprised. It's, oh, another trick. I'll just give you a quickie tricky. Something that Crypto Chris mentioned, and if you're not getting really good, oh shit, my give me 1 second. I need to check that my recording's working. Okay, it's still working. My computer froze for a moment. Okay, so one time Crypto Chris told me this kind of secret, and it is really good, and I'll share it with you. Okay, if something's not looking good on a certain time frame, each token has a different time frame that it's best to trade on, and I'm going to show you this right now. So I'm looking for stuff to trade on Bitfunded right now, and I've been just kind of looking to see what's going on here, and I looked at Illuvium just to look, and it looks like it's going to go up eventually. That's my opinion. It's came down a lot. It's kind of went sideways. It's had on higher time frames, it's got a mega bullish divergence, because I'm looking to trade some Bitfunded junk sometimes to build up my money, and it's got a mega bull div here, but this thing moves slow. It's, you know, kind of crappy. There's not a lot of volume, but this has not played out, but the RSI is climbing on the daily, and when you start to see this bottom Bollinger Band come up, boy, once it gets above this 50 line, that's what you want. But when you go down on the 4 hour, you'll see more bull divs. Like, so you've got bull div on the daily, you've got a bull div on the 4 hour, because it's coming down just slightly. You've got, like, I think, yeah, slight bull div on the RSI. You know, these long ones with this long distance, TDIX isn't going to paint it, so you got to look at it for your eye, with your eyes. And this is taking a long time for this to play out, and usually when something has a delayed play out, it can have a big move. So give me a moment to get some water. Yeah, this is an interesting day. I'm actually doing this from a library. Can you believe that? It's one of those days. You know how it is when things happen and then something else happens. Okay, yes, crypto candle, you need to follow proper market structure if you're trading a continuation. But if you're trading reversals, you don't really need to wait for that market structure change. You can just trade the reaction. And that's how a lot of these guys make their money. Even though it may reverse and they may hold the trade for a long time, they may have caught it. They were prepared to just take their profit and get out after trading that reaction to a key level. So yeah, like I was saying this on Illuvium, because I'm looking at these Bitfunded coins just because I've got a Bitfunded account. I think this one, because it's came down so much, it's got bull divs on multiple time frames now, it's going sideways, and it's got a very slight bull div on the 4 hour. I am interested in it, even though it has crap volume, but this thing's probably waiting to blow. I don't know how much, but with 5x on Bitfunded, it'll be a piece of cake trade. So I'm waiting for confirmation. Reversal catching would be amazing. Yeah. Hey, Shu, thanks for joining, everyone. Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. And thanks for your patience too, because I was going to have this earlier, and there were difficulties, And yeah, things were a mess. I'm working on getting a secondary power back up. I really don't want to move. In Australia, they have a like a housing crisis, and the cost of rent and stuff, it's ridiculous. And I'm in a nice place, so I don't want to leave. I just want to get things to fix up the situation there, and I'll be set. So it's just taking time. Um, Alan, welcome. I just noticed you joined. Thank you for joining. You wanted to talk. Let me see. I'll try to remember. I'm going to look on my thing just to make sure, because you mentioned you wanted to know about. You wanted a question. What was that question you wanted me to go through? Continuation trades at the 50% line. Yes, that's exactly what I want to talk about. I talk about it now more and more, but this is I'm telling you guys, this is, if you're using TDIX, this is the freaking way to go. All right, so let's pull some random shit up, and I'm going to show you. All right, so like I was saying, Crypto Chris said that if you're looking at coins and it doesn't look like there's a good entry, check a different time frame. But I want to get something that's moved recently. It's probably dumping right now. Yeah, like, well, what was that one? There was one that moved like crazy. It's been going up and up. Can't remember the name of it. I got so many on my watch list because I use my watch list alerts, and it helps. It doesn't really matter which one we look at. We'll just look at River because it did have a lot of, yeah, there we go. That'll work. So this is a great example right on the 4 hour even. All right, so thank you, Alan, for bringing this up. Like I was saying with TDIX, if you're in a trend, the majority of the time, say if you're in an uptrend, your fast MA is going to be above this 50. And then when it goes below, you're going to get your shark fins. Now, you don't want to enter on those shark fins. You want to wait until the crossover right here. And these entries are solid. They're so solid. Like, so when you see the fast MA spending so much time on above the 50 or below the 50, you are in that scenario. You have the pattern. You see your shark fin, or you set your alert for the crossover. Once you get your attention to it, and then you say, was there a shark fin before that crossover? Yes. Right there is your entry. Right there. It's not a reversal. Like I said, it's a continuation trade. I'm having some issues. My favorites bar was being hidden by my taskbar. Oh my god. All right, there we go. So this is the entry right here, which lines up here, and it goes in your direction. And then you start getting these wicks on these opposing levels like this. Just more confirmation to hold the trade. It got above it, and then boom, and then it went above again. You had another shark fin right here, and then you had a crossover. Just back test this a little bit. Wait for a shark fin, and then, or a crossover, and then look, was there a shark fin before it? Yes, right here's your entry. Boom. Easy continuation trades all day long, any time frame. But you have to see this pattern. Like, let me see what you guys said in the chat, because my screens are all screwed up today. Yeah, it's called life, man. Exactly. How can you judge token is trending on? Yeah, Cat Monkey. That's what I'm trying to say here is, look at this. Let's do this. All right, let's make this big. All right, you see how this here is the 50 line on TDIX, okay? Maybe I will do something to just make it pop, because 50. Let's make this sucker bright. Let's do this. All right, you can't miss it. All right. You see this zone here? It's above the 50. It's trending up. All right. And let's look at another token that's going down, or has been going down. What the hell's up today with my stuff? We'll go to like a lower time frame, and there you go. Whoops. All right. See this? My screens are so messed up because I'm doing this all from basically my laptop and a really small secondary monitor. But you see how the RSI, this fast MA, this white line, is below the 50, and it's spending most of its time below the 50. If you look at it and you zoom in, you see it is a downtrend. From here, it's just still trending down, and it even went down to here. But when it's easier to see on different tokens, but you see the majority, you'll see the red money flow. You'll see that. Yes, cat monkey. But it's not if it's only above or below the 50. You want to see it hold above or below the 50 for quite a while is what you want. And that's the thing. And then, you really get a shark fin, or the shark fins make the really sweet entries. When you're doing shorts, enter on the shark fin. That's what I would do, because you get a really good entry, especially a jagged shark fin like that, while the RSI has been holding below the 50 for a long time. Like this one here, that didn't really do much. But the longs are a little bit different. They tend to go slower. Shorts move faster. Let's look at something different. Just something with a more of a trend that we can see. I wanted to see some. Okay, this one's got it up and down. That'll work. And I'll go to a different time frame. Well, here's like a small downtrend. It's not very steep, but you see that the pattern is what you're looking for. These patterns. And so like during this zone, it was going down, and you see how the RSI was mostly below the 50. You're looking for shorts on the shark fins, really the shark fins that get slightly above the 50. And check for other key levels, check for order blocks, or whatever, fair value gaps, whatever kind of key level you can find, flip zones that were lost. And when you couple those with like a shark fin with a key level, it usually goes really good. So this one here, now in this case, it was trending up. And look at it again, it's so easy. Here's the white line, the 50 line, and the majority of the time the RSI was above, and it was just trending. See how it did go below a little bit, but it didn't stay. And you really see evidence of it holding once you start seeing stuff like this. When you see the fast MA bounce on top of the green money flow, or if it was stuck below the red, just watch how this fast MA interacts with this money flow line, the green or red wave. And so as it's trending up, in this case, you're looking for the bullish shark fins with green money flow. And call me, too safe to boot or something, but like, I don't enter on shark fins. You can, some people might enter on this cross from the fast MA and slow MA. I do not recommend that. I've tried it. I would wait. I would enter here. So I would have a late entry, but it would be easy. It would be cake. It would be solid, right around here. And, 11% in 1 hour. I think that's pretty good, depending on what kind of leverage you're doing. So it's so easy because it's holding in this area for a while. It's got that uptrend bias. And every once in a while you'll catch some stuff like this. And what you want to do is check for volume. Sort your stuff by trading volume. Go to Ryan Terminal or wherever. EAX, I don't think EAX has got volume. No, they haven't added that yet. I want to ask them about adding that to that. Let me show you something. And different window. Alright, terminal. Alright, I got mine all set up. So on Orion Terminal, they've updated the website. You can click this little bell icon to get this shit out of your way when this empty space is here. Just click that to get rid of that. And these three lines here, you want to click that. And you can select multiple boxes or whatever. But I just like to use, like, say, the daily, and then sort by volume. You can move these guys around. They've really updated their website. And I could do this to show what's got a lot of volume. You know, you want something that's moving. So today, I might take a look at this one. I'm not going to do it right now, but I'm just showing you for, you know, educational purposes. But, you know, I've got it here only to show me the volume, the change percent, and the open interest change. And this is, you know, once you see something that's really cooking, well, there's going to be killer continuation divergences, you know, hidden bulls, hidden bears if it's going down. And those, along with, let's get back to trading view. Those, along with, you know, your flip zones, that's what you really want. So, like I was saying, hey, Crypto Crisp, thank you for joining. Man, I've learned so much from you. Anyway, so like I was showing everyone, I was talking about this, how the RSI is spending so much time above the 50. You know, you're looking for you know, a shark fin and then a crossover, and it's so easy. These continuation trades, I mean, there's so much volatility at reversals, it's hard for people to trade, and that's why I tend to go with the continuation trades. But the continuation trades can be so cake. So as you've got a trend, and you know your RSI is confirming it's above the 50, start drawing some lines. You know, you start seeing a big wick, you know there's a key level there. Draw a line or a rectangle. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you get your flip zone, and once price gets above it and starts holding, not only did you have you know, you have the trend, but you've still got you know, you're getting above these flip zones and the opposing levels. It depends which time frame you're looking at, just like Crypto Chris said. You know, if you're looking at something and it's not presenting any good trades, check a different time frame. Sorry, did I say time zone? It's one crazy day. All right, guys, so I hope that answered your questions about the high time frame for our shark fins, and Alan about the 50 line. Guys, just you know, just do a little back testing and look at what I'm talking about. So like I was saying earlier, if this RSI is spending a lot of time below the 50, you're looking for your bearish shark fins. They usually, you know, it's kind of trending down here. But what I really like to do, say like if I was looking when it was trending up earlier, we can look at something else. I don't have a lot of time though, because I am on a set. Oh, I got about an hour. Great. When you're doing this, when you're trading a trend like this, when the RSI is staying above or below the 50, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, if you do it, say if it was doing that on the 4-hour, here you go. Here it is on the 4-hour. Perfect. When it was going down, it's trending down. The majority of the time the fast MA is below the 50. You're waiting for bearish shark fins right above the 50. Those are your entries, but when you get it, are you going to enter on the 4-hour? Or are you going to go down to the 15-minute? Yes, Alan, exactly. So that is what I was trying to get to. So check the high time frame always. You see this? It's a long-term sustained downtrend through here. It doesn't look like much. you know, on when it's zoomed out. But when you zoom in, you can see these are some moves. And then what are you going to have? You're going to have your flip zones being lost and your shark fins right around there. So here's some shark fins, big old wick, and eventually you're going to have a mega drop. You know, price couldn't hold above the 50, couldn't hold above the, like a lot of times that's why I say enter on the crossover. So right here, and I usually make it red for shorts. So this crossover, and even, you know, there's a little, it tried to get above it again but failed. So watch that. Watch how the FastMA interacts with this wave. And, you know, there's your short entries here, you know, and it just keeps going. So you're always, you're just looking for flip zones, just kind of looking for the pattern. Where's the FastMA, above or below the 50? If it doesn't look like that, there's another thing that can happen, okay? This is like what you don't want to trade, okay? You want to make sure it's been there for a while. You think you're late, but no, it's a trend. Trade the continuations. This here is the area you don't want to mess with, like in trading as much, because like it's not holding above the 50, it's not holding below, it's just kind of wishy-washy, kind of like a sine wave. There's a way to trade that too. I'm working on this. I've been doing a lot of back testing, but this is more of a range pretty much, because it's got some ups and downs, but it's harder to identify this area as much while it's trying to decide what it's doing. So because you can tell like it's not holding above or below it. So that's and then look at that. Start looking for divergences every freaking time. Let's see, not here, but well, the money flow came up significantly. That's not the one. Anyway, Alan, I'm still holding the Bitcoin going up, possibly to 108K. You'll have to watch the replay of this to see, but there's some more bull divs, and it hasn't went down. I'll just look at it real quick. It hasn't went down to invalidate this bull div that's on the 1 day and on the 3 day, and it's confirmed. And then on the 4 hour, you got a nice div here. RSI came up while the price went down. So TDIX hasn't painted it, but and like I was saying, it's got to get above 90K. This key level's great, this flip level, but if it gets between there, it has to get above 90K, because that's where let's do the 12 hour, and it'll just be easier because it's my screen's not wide on my laptop. See, there's wicks on the top, wicks on the bottom, then on the top, then on the bottom. So 90K is now what it needs to get above. And when I seen that candle, Alan, that's what I was trying to talk to you about, is this Dragonfly Doji. It closed right above that 90K. That looked good, but then it failed. It couldn't hold. It came back down, and then it started rejecting, and then totally lost this level. All right, so I hope that answered the questions that you guys had. I'm gonna look at the chat. Volume range, yes. It's an undecided trend. Crisp knows exactly what he's talking about, and Bitcoin is doing that right now. That's what Bitcoin's in. It's in a range right now, and it's having deviations outside of the range, and it's like, oh, what's it gonna do? And everybody's like, you know, think this is the move every time. And sorry, my stuff's messed up because I'm not at home right now, but it's in a range. It's a nice little range here. My lines are, there's a lot of lines, but there we go. Your value area high is the red line, and the green is the value area low. But I think really 90K is the one that it has to get above. And this could be a bearish retest on this key level right now. It could be, but it's not below the volume area low. So there's a chance like it could come back down and then get back up again. There's definitely some sort of volume here. It's better than the deviations outside of that range. See how there's less volume on the above and below it. But there's a lot. You know, it's got to get above 90K. There's a bearish order block, strong bearish order block here at 95 that it's going to have to get through. But that's what I want to see. That's what I would think, that this bull div will get it up there. I think. I've shown this on because it's been going sideways for weeks. I've showed this over and over. It's on the daily, it's on the 3-day, and it has not invalidated. It's going slow. It's having it may blast off, because when a divergence takes a really long time to play out, it often blasts off. Maybe we'll get 115K. I don't want to say that. Right now it doesn't feel like that. It feels bearish. But it took a while here for it to play out, and it had the same thing. Because you see this, I want to show this again. There's your hidden bull. All right, and I'm gonna show you the other one too, because there's one that happened. The same thing happened before, and I show this like on some of my other streams, but if other people didn't watch it, I'll show you the same thing. There was a hidden bull right here at the swing low, and then like up here it's the same thing, and it played out in a big way. It took a while, but it didn't invalidate because it didn't go below this. So you had a lower low on the oscillator with the higher low on price, and then you had a big run up. And this is your continuation trades. That's what these hidden bulls divs are. They're continuation divergences. Oh, Alan, how does it correlate on the hour time frames or 15-minute? You know, you just kind of got to look at them and see, you know, not to jump all over the place with the questions, but you draw these vertical lines on your higher time frame and then go down to your lower time frame and take a look at it. But you see this is, you know, a continuation divergence. It's still getting higher lows with lower lows on the oscillator. Look at it this way too. Even if price came down to try to invalidate it, the RSI is going to have to go below 22 to invalidate, or the price is going to have to go below here. It very well can, but because it's already this high, it does seem unlikely. And then if it did, it's probably just going to print a regular bull div, and that's exactly what it did previously. Like here, it printed the hidden bull, and then right after the hidden bull, I have stacked divergences. Then you had your regular bull div, and those are the ones that really play out. Like when you have a bull div that doesn't play out, and then, you know, and this was on the RSI. See right there, it's even painted. So if it doesn't play out, but it's nowhere near the invalidation line, chances are, if it's taken a long time to play out, it's going to create another stacked divergence, and then it's going to go. Maybe. But it's confluence. It's not a confirmation. Market structure's your confluence. So that's it. That's enough of Bitcoin. I'm hoping for 108K, but hope does no good in trading. Anyway, all right, guys. I wanted to kind of look at gosh, I'll put this on the other screen. What was that one? There was one on EAX that I was going to look at, but you know what? Let's I don't have a super lot of time, but we could look at something. Alan, did you have a certain coin in mind, or anyone else? I'll try to get to them as fast as I can. and see if I can look at them. So I am trying to get on EAX again, and it's all right. Give me a little bit to invite you to speak if you want to, if you're all set up. But remember, I'm not at home right now, so I'm kind of being careful with my time. But you can join, or if anyone wants to join. But okay, hype is the one, because it's got a really high RSI right now on EAX, and let's let's look at it. Not hippie. Let's add that to. I can't type for crap today. Whenever I find something on EAX or Orion or wherever, I put it on my watch list, and then it's covered in my watch list alerts. Oh, one more thing before I'm going to invite you to speak, but I want to explain something really quick. But let's try to keep this on topic as best as we can. Oh yeah, I see that. Oh my gosh. Wow, thanks for showing that, Crisp. You guys seeing that screenshot that he put in the chat? I'm going to pull it on my oh, not that one. I'm going to pull it on my thing so it's on the recording. So this is what he shared, and this is Bitcoin. Look at that. It's losing that ascending wedge, and the RSI is going low with the divergence. Oh yeah. That money flow is still up a little bit though. It could make one more run, maybe. Well, we'll see. Maybe like a bearish retest. All right. This is hard to do without multi-monitors. It was something I wanted to show you guys, share in this stream for people that watch the replay. I cannot remember exactly what it was. All right, Alan, I'm inviting you to speak. Did you get the invite? KI, yeah, I got that one on my list. Yeah, that one's been having some volume. And I'm gonna fix my TDIX. I just wanted to have it bright, like the middle line, to kind of show you what I was looking at. So that's where I see a lot of red money flow, and anyway, we already went over that. Yeah, let's look at this. I haven't looked at it in detail. Oh boy, I don't have my magnet on. It's nowhere near that level, so it might come down to it. It's a nice gap. All right, there's a flip zone right here. Whenever you see a big wick, there's a key level. Just look and you'll find it. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark these wicks along with this wick. There's something going on here. We don't know which way it's gonna go, so I'll just use that color. Lock down. Yeah, there's something going on here. Some multiple time frame fair value gap here. It's in a downtrend as of right now, but if this fast MA starts holding above the middle band, it may be reversing. It did hit that. Well, it had that. Went down to this wick. because that's where that line started. That's where that key monthly level started. So, oh, oh yeah, this may be switching from a downtrend to an uptrend. And you know how I know? It's at an opposing level, and it's put a couple 3 wicks on top of it on the daily, and that right there is, it's above it, so I'd make that one green. That is holding so far. That would be okay. That's an opposing level, but there is this flip zone here. This whole area is a flip zone on a higher time, on the monthly or weekly even. So you'll have to see. You know what? It could be reversing. There's a strong likelihood, because like the money flow is coming up really sharp. The RSI is coming up really sharp. You know, the price went down. It had the bull divs, and you know, it's had big candles showing, you know, some volume. Bounce from fib. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a 618. So it would probably be easier to see on another time frame, right? Even the 4 hour. Just thinking, no way. Yep, right at the 618. It's nice having Crisp in here. Yeah. Yep. You know, when in doubt, check a different time frame. Like, really, I like the 4 hour. It is below, but it's holding above the 50, and that's another thing you want to watch out for, guys. Not only do you want to watch the reactions from the fast MA in the middle band, but you want to watch that fast MA interact with the 50. That happens so much. So it wanted to go below the 50, down into bearish territory, but nope, it bounced. It's come back down. Now, it had that bounce on the fib, and I would keep looking at other time frames, is what I would do. Oh, okay. You know what I would do? Here, there is something going on here. Just so you know, there was a bear div that played out. A couple of them, really. It's just been printing them. So like, well, how you know that is like this high up here. Not that one, but even this one would count. You see how the RSI is way higher, but then the price is way lower. So there's definitely a bear div on the RSI. It's a hidden bear div, but I don't, you know what? This one's kind of risky. You know, you could jump into a trade on it, but I wouldn't do it yet. I'd wait for a little more movement above or below this 50. Exactly, Chris. Lower time frames. So you look at, you know, like your 15-minute, you're in and out pretty quick, and when in doubt, go to your lower time frames, and here it is, 3-minute. Check this out, guys. All right, you're getting that. It's happening right now. Just what I was talking about. See how the fast MA is starting to hold above the 50. Now, there's another secret with this. See if you guys can remember it. or whoever watches the recording of this live. Okay, the recording's still going. When you see both Bollinger Bands above or below the 50 line on the scale, that's good. That's what you want. See, like this Bollinger Band here is at the 50. If the RSI goes below, it's just going to print a shark fin. Same with the, the bearish scenario. So once that Bollinger Band gets to that 50 line, it's going to print a shark fin. But it's not always like that. You may have the Bollinger Band spread out, and when that happens, you're not going to get a shark fin anytime soon. So there's a strong chance of reversal. Watch that. See, like in this case, the Bollinger Bands got really spread out. It looked like it was getting a switching into a bullish sentiment here, but it just kind of did that thing where the RSI is in the middle, and it was kind of ranging. It had some volatility, then the range tightened. Okay, so this is your time frame. Well, to scalp if you want to scalp it, but because you have the pattern here, this is exactly what you want to see. And not only that, here's another confirmation. Let's get rid of these lines. Look at this. If this was your low, your recent swing low, you have a hidden bull that happened right there. And you gotta, this is why you gotta zoom out and scrunch up your TDIX, because you had that hidden bull while you've got a higher low. So whenever you're looking at the money flow on TDIX or even the RSI, because the RSI divergences play out quicker, but when you see a hump in the crossover, it's easier to tell what's going on, because whether it's at the top of a green hump or the bottom of a red one, look at the last swing high or swing low and compare it, and you'll see if there's a lower low on the oscillator and a higher low on price. And then when you have that, you've got your divergence, and of course this is a 3-minute divergence, so you're not you're not going to hold this trade for long, but the Bollinger Bands are solid up here above this. So if you get a shark fin here, and then money flow comes down a little bit, and the fast MA crosses it again, and that would be your entry. The other day I was doing so much stuff with my business, and there was this one trade, and everything was set up just like this, and it had the flip zone, it had the hidden bull continuation trade. I forget what coin it was. Is it Rose or something? It was and I did not enter that trade, and if I would have entered it with like 10x, I would have made so much money on it. So this is serious, guys. I know, like, you can choose Indicator X, SMCX, or Trend X, but I used to be more Indicator X trader, but now TDIX is just, it's the best, and I don't see anything comparing to it, and that's my opinion. I mean, well, I shouldn't say that. SMCX and the way Mowgli trades is really nice, because he doesn't even really use TDIX from what I understand. He's just doing his key levels and using SMCX, checking for sweeps and RSI and stuff. I want to find that coin that pumped like crazy recently. which one was it? Usually they'll dump afterwards. Is it resolve? There was one that I looked at it and I was like, all I gotta do is just enter here, and I didn't take it. Maybe it was Rose or something. Something. It went up like 90% in a day, and I can't find it. I can't think. Maybe I had it here. Maybe it was Rose. And there was an entry, and I saw it and I was like, yeah, this is it. I think this is it. Let me check it, because I even had it in another tab and I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, 90%. Okay, so this is the one I was talking about. So I was looking at it, and you had your flip zone. It's all you really got to check for. Draw your lines in your set. And well, this one had a big wick on it. It was I know it was another one, because maybe it was this flip zone. It might have been. I seen it and I was like, I'm gonna enter, because I saw the RSI up above the. Yeah, I think it was way down here. Yeah, that's what it was. Because when I looked at it, I was like, there was no risk of price coming really hitting your stop. And I looked at it and I was like, I seen it happening. I seen the bull div before it happened. The money flow. Whoops, what the money flow was coming up, and the RSI and the price went down, and then there was a major shift, and the RSI started getting above the 50, and it had the flip zone, and I was like, enter here. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna enter here, and I went out. I went somewhere. I picked some guy up and we went somewhere, and it was like some golf course country club. Anyway, I forgot to check the trade and I missed it, and it was like up here when I looked at it later or whatever. But right here was the entry. I saw this and I could have entered, with just like 200 bucks or whatever at 10x leverage. I would have made like 2,000 or 3,000 or something. But I didn't take it. But there's the setup. And here's another thing you could have seen that you guys could watch out for, is this money flow got into the red just a little bit, and there's another. Really, I think it was on the RSI. No. Well, anyway, you have a very slight higher low on price here at this area. Well, I wouldn't consider that a swing low, so that was risky, but it was another time frame that had it. So you check this one, check Rose, and study it, and then see at this crossover right here, let's say my alert is what went off. My alert went off on the crossover, and I looked, oh, there was a shark fin. Had the shark fin crossover. This is where I should enter. And I'm like, no, not yet. I don't want to enter yet. And then later I beat myself up over it because I missed it. It was so easy. It was so freaking easy, because there's your flip zone. And it got above it. Crossover. RSI. Spending its time above the 50. It was bound to go. And it did. And even when it came back down here, it would have been nowhere near my stop. And then when you see like wicks like this, and then more flip zones confirming, it's just another confirmation to hold that sucker and let it ride. So that's what I wanted to share. Really, I'm glad I got to it, because I thought I was going to forget. But Rose has, it's been moving. And, it's went from flip zone to flip zone with all the signs on TDIX. Right here, it did have a shark fin, and it had a crossover, but it didn't go. So it still has potential to go, but it's had a killer run. And with the uncertainty of Bitcoin right now, I don't think I'd try to go for another move on it. And it looks like it's rejecting and reversing now. So I wouldn't try to go on another long on that one. Do not understand your valuable input, maybe in the future. Yeah, Cat Monkey. watch the replay, because I'm saying these same things in these sessions, and just, pause it and, study what I'm saying, and you'll get it. But yeah, you're just you're looking for your wicks and, price to get above swing highs or lows, depending on if you're going bullish or bearish. You draw your flip zones. If price crosses it and holds, and like I said, just watch for a trend, and like the same thing here. There's your 50 right in the middle, and the fast MA's chilling below it. It's trending down, but now it's shifting to where it's trending up, and you can see it when you start seeing it spend so much time above the 50 on this scale. So I hope that answers your question or helps. But and this is on every time frame, but you kind of want to try to do it in alignment with the high time frame, really, because then you're going to get the big moves. Because when the big moves, when the RSI is crossing the 50 or the 60, that's when you get some pumps sometimes. Yeah. Let me just look at it really close for you. So, this money flow line here, that's called the middle band. And the reason is because these are Bollinger Bands. Like this blue one's the top and the other blue one's the bottom one. And then right in the middle of those two Bollinger Bands is this line, which is the money flow, the middle band. And these crossovers from this white line, this RSI, because that's what it is, how it interacts with that is very important. But not only that, its position on this scale is what you want to be looking